Hello, this is Tim. I hope you're keeping well. What lecture are we on now? We're on lecture, sorry about this, freeform parts number 11. So I'll just copy this to my desktop and we're going to work through these exercises. Okay, so we have one there, nothing new really. Two is we're going to use it's like a lawn chair made with tubing, and it's bent at various places. We're going to use something called a sweep to create this shape. Here's example number 3. It looks like a bottle. Example number 4 looks like a funnel. 5 is a screwdriver, and then 6 is another chair. Let me see if I can rotate this for you. There you go. Number 6 is a chair, and then 7 is this beast of a part. It looks like I don't know what it looks like, some sort of blower, to be quite honest. Anyway, let's start with exercise 1. I'm just going to run through them all. The best way to start is with this front sketch. We want to replicate this front sketch, and then what we're going to do is we'll do a mid-plane extrude. Okay, so let me just zoom in here for a little bit. The trick is going to be getting these curves, I'm thinking, these ripples, these waves. So we'll give it a lash, and let's give it a go. So I'm just going to create a part. Check that it's inches. Create a sketch on the front plane. Now a good place for this origin, I'm going to stick the origin right in the middle there of that part. So I'm going to draw a rectangle first, I think. I'll make this point, that line, and that point midpoint. Now what's the total length of this thing? 50. 50, and the height is, well, let's just get the 50. Okay, the height looks like it's 10. Now we have this main body, but then there are these little legs that are sticking out. What I want you to do is just forget about those legs for the time being. Just imagine they're not there, and let's get this wavy effect. So we got 50 in this one direction. Yeah, hold on a sec. Yeah. Yeah, let's just do it. We'll make it 50 inches. We'll make this 10. Alright. Now what's next? What we want to do is we have 5 inches here, and then we have the start of a curve, and then another one, and so on. So I'm just trying to think what's the best way of doing this. Radius of 5. I'm looking for, okay, I need the detail. Here we go. So we have a radius of 5 here, and then this is a radius of 1.5 here. Okay. So let's put a circle in. I'm going to make a tangent with that line and tangent with that line. And I'm going to make this a diameter of 10. Okay? And my feeling is I'd like to do an array of these linear sketch pattern. And let's do the x-axis. You'll see what I mean now in a sec. I don't know, I'm after a rain there as well. Let's get rid of that. Okay. Okay, now if I grab that, is it going to move? Okay, let's make this and that point horizontal, and that's going to be 10. There we go, lovely. Alright, now what I'm going to do now is I'm going to do a fillet, I think, of 1.5. And I'm going to go from there. Can I do from 1 to 1? Hold on a second. Sorry about that, guys. My allergies are driving me crazy at the moment. Alright, radius 1.5. Okay, how do we do that? I want to do a sketch fillet. Okay, maybe not. Let's do another circle then. And let's make a tangent to these two and tangent to there. And then let's have a diameter of 3. And that's what it looks like. So I'm going to trim that and trim that and trim that, and let's put that dimension back in. Now why can't I, why will that move? Because I need to make a tangent back again. And tangent here. Okay. And what I can do now is I can trim that, and I can trim that. Now I'm wondering, I can trim that, and I can trim this, and I can trim that now, but it's getting messed up now. Why? Okay, I still need this distance from there, and I'm going to use the shift key to there, and I'm going to make that 10. This is it's tricky enough. I'm being lazy. I'd like to pattern this all the way over. Let me see if I get rid of that, it's going to start complaining. Okay, let's do this. Let's do a linear sketch pattern. Let's pattern this circle. That's going to be my x-axis, and I'm going to go, the distance will be 10. Alright, I'm going to go okay. Now, I have all those. Now what can I do if I make this and that point horizontal? That's good, but I also need to make the distance from there to there. I need to make that 10. Yeah, it's not ideal, but let's see if I can get rid of all of these. Okay, now let's get rid of some of these dimensions. Now, can I make this and that? I've made that horizontal. Now what happens if I grab this and want to move it? It doesn't. Can I make this equal? Can I make those equal? Let's try that. It still doesn't help. What happens if I make those two tangent? No, it doesn't like that. And the issue is with this linear sketch pattern. If you're not careful, it can give you a lot of some errors. I don't know. Maybe it would have been just easier just to manually draw that in. So let's have a look. I'm just going to go all the way back. I'm not going to pattern these. I'm just going to draw it in myself. I'm going to draw 4 circles. Now I'm wondering, let me just try one other thing here for a sec. I'm wondering if I break that and then put a fillet in of 1.5. Ah, yes, lovely. There we go. Now we're talking. Okay. So I trim this first and trim that and this, and then I'm just going to use fillets. You know, that might not have been too obvious to you. There's an awful lot of different ways of doing this, but that wavy pattern with all those tangents and those curves, one curve meeting with another curve, it's tricky enough. But that's it. That's what you want. I don't know, I wouldn't have used, yeah, you can use linear sketch pattern if you want it, but you're going to have to kind of massage it a bit, or work it. But I have a fully defined sketch, it looks pretty good. I'm going to go back here, and I'm going to extrude it 35 inches. mid-plane. Okay, and that's what I have. So what's next? Let's have a look. I'm going to take easy stuff. I'm going to take... should we do the shell first? Now let me think for a second. Yeah. Okay, let's have a look. I'm going to put these... I think I want to put these radiuses, these fillets of 2 inches on either edge. And what will happen is it's going to run all the way along here. You'll see what I mean. So we'll get a fillet of 2 inches, and I'm going to click this edge, and look what happens. It follows it all the way along because of the tangent propagation. I'm going to do the same here. I'm going to go OK. Now this looks like, somebody said to me that this is, believe it or not, is a soap holder, and you'll see what I mean. So if this is a soap holder, I need to be able to cut out the inside of it. So we're going to use something called shell, and I'm pretty sure I've shown you this before. Now the shell thickness is going to be 1 inch, and I'm going to shell that now. And look at this; it gives me a nice little I don't know, pocket, or it basically shells the outside. Whenever you're using the shell, this area here will remove that face. If I delete that and I go OK, it's still after shelling it, but it's after doing the interior of it like so. Okay, so let's go back here for a sec and let's remove that face. Now what's next? I'm going to take this cutout and I'm going to take that cutout. So it's 25 and it's a depth of 2 inches and it's right bang in the middle. So let's create a sketch right there. You could do it, if you wanted to be good, you could put it on probably on one of those mid planes. So this point, that line and that point, we're going to midpoint it. We make this 25. Excuse me again. You don't make videos in spring. Alright, 2 inches, and then extrude cut through all, and I'll just cut that out like so. Alright, I'll create another sketch here. I'm hitting the space bar to get that menu to come up, and I'll just draw another rectangle. Now I think it's 20 this time. So I'll click this line, and click the point, I'll go midpoint, and I'll go 20, and I'm pretty sure that the depth of it is 2 as well. Exit the sketch, extrude cut, go through all, and now we have that. Now what else are we missing? The last thing we're actually missing are these feet on the end. Now let's have a look. Okay, the best way to do this is create a plane that's 10.5 away from the top. So I'm going to create a plane. Oops, not there. Let's try that again. From that face, we want an offset of 10.5. 10.5. Flip. And we're going to extrude up to the surface. So there's that plane. I'm going to create a sketch on that plane, and I'm going to look at this normal too. And I'm going to create some circles. 1, 2, 3. See, I'm after adding a mate, some sort of a. Can I move the? I can. Good. Alright, I'll highlight them all, and I'll go equal, and I'll go from this to there. I'll make that horizontal. From this point to. Whoops, let's try that again. From that point to this point, we make it vertical. From that point to that point, we'll make it horizontal, and from that point to that point we'll make it vertical. Alright, and I'll highlight them all and I'll make them equal to one another. I think I've done that already. Now what size is it? I'm trying to think. We have a diameter of 1 inch, okay, which is from there to there. This will make a bit of sense now in a sec. 1 inch. Very small. And then what do we need? It's 3.5 from one end. Let's have a look. 3.5 from one side and then 28. So come on now, let me, from there to there we'll make it 28, and then we'll make it from one to the other we'll make it 3.5. okay, and then I remembered 44, and that 44 is from whenever I'm clicking a circle, I don't waste my time trying to get to the center point. I'm just clicking on the outside and I go to the outside to the outside and I make that 44, and then I need one more dimension. I have the 3. So if you're looking at this for the first time, I'm after doing this problem about 10 times now, so I remember where these dimensions are, but you would need to take your time to figure out all these things. Okay, so I'm kind of doing the work for you. So from there to there we make that 3 and everything goes black. Now what we're going to do now is, this has, it starts off small and it gets wider. It has a tapered extrude of 10 degrees. So I'll exit the sketch, I'll extrude, alright, a draft 10 degrees, okay, wrong way, draft outwards, and what we're going to do is we're going to go up to next. So what it does is it just keeps driving until it reaches that face. And now we have these lovely little feet on our soap tray. Now the last thing is there's little fillets on it and their radius of 0.25. So we get fillets 0.25, 1, 2, 3, 4. Now let me have a look at this thing. So what's new there? This wavy business, trying to get that curve is tricky enough. That's something probably that we've never really spent. We've spent a bit of time on it, but it's going to be tricky for you. The second thing is the shell. So practice with that shell. It's something that you need to know, and you are going to see it in the associate exam. The draft extrude is something you're going to see. So make sure those 3 things. Make sure you can get the tangents between the curves. You're going to see all of those things on the exam for sure. So make sure you know what you're doing. That's it. Is there anything else missing? So once you're done with this, create the drawing. Okay, you're going to create the drawing of every single part. Okay, so let's look at problem number 2. So it looks like some sort of a lawn chair. What we're going to do is we're going to use something called a 3D sketch. So let me just show you. So I'll create a part. I'll create it now. Hold on, what am I doing here? Slow down for a sec. A lot of time you guys mistakenly you create this 3D sketch when we just need sketches for 99% of everything that we do. For once we're actually going to use a 3D sketch. So what do? We click on 3D sketch and this comes up. Now let's have a look. Let me show you a few things here first. The first thing you'll notice is we have X, Y and Z. Now 80, these are big numbers. Okay, 80, okay. It's 1 millimeter. Okay, so let's do this first. Let's go and let's change this to me millimeters. Now let's do this again, 3D sketch. Now what I'm going to do is, there's my origin right there. I'm going to grab a line, and don't be scared, and I'm going to start from the origin. Okay, now let me see if I can remember what this thing looks like. The origin in this example is going to be right where, so this is like, you see that piece right there? The origin is going to be right in the midpoint of that. Okay, so remember that right there. So I need to come over and then over in this direction to see if I can remember this. Okay, now watch this. Look how it locks there. Okay, it locks on to the X, it locks on to the Y. Okay, I need to come over here a little bit. So the plane that I'm drawing in, see, notice how it says XY beside my pencil. If I hit the tab key, I'm now on a different plane. I'm on YZ. So now I can lock on somewhere like there. I'm trying to come over here, but it won't lock in. I hit the tab key, and then I can lock in there. I'm hitting the tab key again. Now let me just stop what I'm doing and show you what it looks like in 3D space. So how do I change the planes? I'm using the tab key. So let's hold on for 1 second. So what does this thing look like? It looks like I need to come over. Now forget about the fillets, the curves for the time being. And I'm going to press escape. Okay. Now I'm going to come back. I'm going to grab a line. I'm going to come back to this point. Okay, see, notice that it doesn't lock on. I hit the tab key and it locks on. I hit the tab key again. Tab key. I don't need to hit the tab key because I'm in the right plane for once, and I'm going to be in the right plane again. So look at this here. Now what can I do? I'm going to look at some dimensions here for a sec. 80 millimeters. So I'm going to go from there to there. I'm going to make that 80. Now what I'm going to see if I can do is I'm going to see if I can delete that line. I'm going to delete that line. I'm going to put a line in between them, and I'm going to go this line, and I'm going to make you a midpoint. Okay, now it wants to slow down for a sec. Can I go along X? No, it doesn't like that. Along Y? No. Along Z? Okay. You're going to have to play around with this a little bit. So I got the 80. Let's have a look. Now we need this to be 100. So I'll make this 100. Now I can make this line and this line equal. I can make this line and this line equal, and this line and this line equal, and you two as well equal. Okay, that's 100. What's next? 85. And then 85, and then 85 here as well. Okay. And then this height, I'm zoning off here a little bit, I'm sorry. So what we have a straight piece, and then we have an angular piece. So we have a straight piece, and then we have an angular piece like that. Something like that, okay. And then I'm going to do the same over here. Now, if you draw something like this, it looks right, doesn't it? But let's look at it from an angle. No, you're not on the right plane. You're gonna have lots of fun trying to figure that out. Okay. So what am I looking at? I know that X and Y is in the right plane. So I know if I draw this back here like so, it's going to be in the right orientation is the word I'm looking for. So hold on. Okay, let's get some dimensions going. So we have I'm looking for some sort of height. 170 is what I want. So from the very bottom to the top is 170. Okay. So from there to there is 170, and I think I just have to do the same on the other side. So from there to there is 170. I know you don't like extra dimensions. And then let's look at the angle. It looks like the length of this is 26.5. I'll make this and this chappy equal. And then we need an angle. What's the angle? 20 degrees. Where am I getting that from? Right there. $20, and there, and he's 20 degrees. Now what can I do with this? Can I move? What's happening with that? It's moving along the 3D space. So I need to do something. I can't fix him. Can I move him along the X? No, it doesn't like that. Move along the Y, it doesn't like that, and then move along the Z, it doesn't like that either. Okay, what happens with this point? How can I lock that in? And look, it's fine the way it is. I'd like this to be along the Y or along. No. Okay, well, let me get back to that for a sec. Bloody 3D sketches. And let's put some of these fillets in. Radius 10, typical. Okay. So what we'll do, we'll get a fillet of 10. Now watch this. I'll put one in there. Put one in there. Just go, yes, don't worry about it. Look, I'm not going to lie, we're going to leave that, we're going to just suck it up and deal with it, it's fine. I'm just trying to show you what a sweep is, and I'm getting bogged down with 3D sketches. So I'm just going around and adding all these fillets. Like so, and I'll go okay. Very, very nice. Okay, now watch this. That's a 3D sketch. Very, very different from what we've done. What we'll do now is we're going to create something called a sweep, and in order to do the sweep I need to create a sketch that's perpendicular to the path. So I go to exit out of the sketch, I go plane, excuse me, oh my god, click the line, click the point, and I have a plane that's completely perpendicular to that line. And then I'm going to create a sketch on that plane. And if we go to here, we see that this is a pipe. It's not a rod or a solid piece. So the thickness is 1 millimeter, and it's a diameter of 5. So let's do a diameter of 5, and then let's do an offset, give it a thickness of 1, like so. Don't try to do a sweep unless this sketch is perfectly at the end of the line and it's perpendicular like so. Okay, now watch this. Whenever you're trying to do a sweep, you have two sketches. You have a profile, which is this guy, and you have a path, which is the other one. The profile will follow along the path. So what do? We go to this sweep. Okay. The profile is, you can select it here if you want to, or I can just do this. And the path is that. And look what it does, it just follows along it. And that's it. So whenever you think of a sweep, you have a profile and you have a path. And your path doesn't have to be a 3D sketch. It can just be a normal sketch, you know. So anyway, let me show you an example of a normal sketch. So we just delete that for a sec. That's it. So hopefully you can do that. I'm going to delete this. I'm going to delete all this. Excuse me. I'm going to create a sketch on the top plane. And I'm going to draw a couple of lines. Just a normal sketch. I'm going to put fillets on it. Like so. Now what do I do here? I'm going to have, okay, let's exit out of this. I'm going to have to put in a plane, and I'm going to put it in like so. I'm going to put it in the intersection, and I'm going to create a sketch on that plane, and I'm just going to, don't do that, let's try that again. Something like this. Let's see, does this work? 2 sketches. I'm going to do sweep boss base. There's my profile, and here's my path, and it'll just follow along, just like so. Let's do this. Let me show you something else. Let's remove. Can I remove the fillets? I don't think so. What happens if I don't have fillets there? I'll delete that. Let's just delete all this. Excuse me for a sec. Alright. I'll create a sketch on the top plane. Just something like that. I'll get out of here. I think the sweep will still work. Reference geometry, I'll create a plane, click on the point, click on the line. We create a sketch on that plane. Yeah, there you go. I'm surprised that worked. Yeah, there it is. Okay. So sweep, it's very, very useful when you're doing, like, you can create cables, wires, where else would you see it? It's rare enough, the sweep feature. So, okay, what are we going to move on to next? We're going to move on to this bottle. Okay, so we did the first 2. We'll move on to this bottle. So give me a sec. Hey, let's have a look at problem number 3. So we're going to do this bottle, and so let's have a look. The first thing is in millimeters. So let's remember that. How are we going to do this? The bottle has 3 sections. It has a rectangular or a square base with fillets on it that gets extruded 60. Then it has a tubular top that comes down 40. And then it has this shape that connects the tube to the square, essentially. And that's what a loft is. We're going to use a loft feature for that. So this section here is going to be just a normal extrude. That section there is going to be a normal extrude, and from here to here is going to be a loft. Now, that's going to give us a solid bottle, but we want to put, I don't know, wine or something inside of this thing. So we're going to have to use a shell to shell the inside of it out. So let's give this a go. Let's turn this on and make sure that it's millimeters, and let's create a sketch on the top plane. I'm going to use a center rectangle. And let's have a look at these dimensions. 40 and then a radius of 5. So this is 40. I'll make this line and that line equal to one another. And I've already forgotten it. Is it radius of 5? Okay, let's try that. One of these days I'll actually read this, but you know, you don't need to worry about it. I'll just put the radius of 5 in there. Okay. So that's that. Now we're going to extrude this by 60. So let's rotate this a little bit, get a good eye view on it. And let's extrude this of 60 millimeters and go OK. Alright, so there's that bottom section. Now this I want to do the top section next, and I'm going to connect them with a loft. So I need to come up 130. So what will I do? I'm going to get a plane. From there I'll make this 130, and there you go. That's the top of the bottle. So let's create a sketch on there, and let's make 2 circles. Do we need 2 circles? No, we just want 1 circle for the time being. We're going to use a shell later. So what's the top of it? A diameter of 20. Diameter 20, and I'm going to extrude this by 130 minus 90 is 40, like so. Okay, now the next thing is the loft. So hopefully I'll give you some background in lofting, but let's have a look in class. But let's have a look here. So we know extrude, we know revolve, we know sweep. Don't worry about this boundary boss base. I don't think I've ever used that before. Extruded cut, I even think this is new, to be quite honest. We know extruded cut, we know hole wizard, we know revolve cut, you know, we know fillet, we know linear pattern, and we know most of these. So the last big thing we don't know is this loft. And what a loft does is, I'll show you. I'm going to click. So much of this you don't need to know. More advanced stuff. I'm going to click one face, and then I'm going to click another face, and look what it does. It just joined one face to another face. Where do you see this type of thing? If you look at the ductwork above your heads where you have air conditioning, you sometimes have sheet metal that goes from a tube to a square, or a pipe to a square, or different from one square to another square. So there you go, that's it. And if that gives you grief, another thing you can do is you can create a sketch on this face. I'll click on it and I'll go convert entities. That's one sketch. I have a single sketch, then I'm going to do another sketch. And I'm going to convert entities to get the geometry and exit. Before I don't know, this is a relatively this loft here, you can just click faces and it does it, but before you actually had to have dedicated sketches, so one sketch to another. So I'll show you. Now we have 2 sketches, sketch 3 and sketch 4, and it does the exact same thing. Now hold on for 1 second. Okay, what was I going to say? So what does it do is it creates a feature that tries to form from one type of face to another type of face. You also get these connection points that you can grab, and you can move these, and what it will do is it will twist the free form shape. Typically you don't mess with those, very rarely, unless they're incorrect, unless the thing has done it should do a good job of doing it. And this is going, if I go OK, it's just going to give this a very straight loft, a free form loft. And this is not going to have any twist in it if you leave it the way it is. So what do we do next? We're going to put in some fillets, I think. Yeah, you can see the fillets there. Now what size are the fillets? 15. Okay. Now we have a nice solid bottle. Now I need to shell this. You can see if I section it, it's completely solid. Now if I go to shell, now what's the thickness of this thing going to be? It's going to be 1 millimeter. If I click this top view, this top face, and go OK, I have a nice bottle there with a shell. If this was some sort of, I don't know, what it actually reminds me of is a wind tunnel, but let's say we wanted flow going right through this, I would remove this face as well, and now we have some nice ductwork. Okay, so we have a square going to a cylindrical, I don't know, cross section. Okay, so let's do it the way it is, and let's remove that second face. If you wanted to show off, you could render this. Like I can't turn on. I don't have Real View or Photo View 360 on this thing. It's only a laptop. But what you could do is you could render this and make it look quite nice. So that's it. We just did a little loft there, and we're going to do a few more. Okay, let's look at the next one. We're going to do a funnel. So what's the best way of doing this? We have a circle at the bottom, we have a circle in the midsection, and then we have an ellipse. So we're going to make this all solid, and then we're going to shell it. So let's have a look. Now let's look at these dimensions. It looks like millimeters as well. Okay. So I'll change this to millimeters. What I'm going to do, I'm going to create a sketch on the top plane, and I'm just going to draw a circle. Now what size is it? It's going to be 10, which is right there. Okay, and let's rotate that a little bit, and I'm going to do another. I'm going to create I need to create another sketch, but it's going to be, what is it going to be? 40 from here to here. Okay. So let's turn on the top plane for a sec. I'm going to create, come on now, create a plane and make that 40. Now why is it being a pain? There, is it really that high? 40, okay. And then I'm going to create a sketch on that plane, and I'm going to create a bigger circle. Now what size is the bigger circle? Diameter 20. Alright, we're going from a small circle to a big circle. I'll just turn that plane off, and then the next one is going to be 125 up. So I'll click on this top plane, go to reference geometry, plane, and I'll make this 125, and I'm going to go OK. Now on this plane we're going to create another sketch, and what shape are we going to draw? We're going to draw an ellipse. So I click the origin, the center of the ellipse, I click the maximum of one side, and then I click the maximum of, you could say, the X, and then the maximum of the Y. Now let's just make sure that these two are okay. That's fine. Now what's the distance between 120 and 80 are the numbers that I need. So from here to there is 120. Try that again. 120. And then from there to there is 80. Now why isn't this locking in? Let's see if I can pick it. Okay, so it wants to rotate. So what I'll do is I'll make this point and the origin vertical, and it locks in. So now I have, watch this, I have three, I'm going to turn that plane off. I have three sketches. I want to go from there to there to there. Now watch this. If I go to loft and I just pick these two, there's one and there's two, it gives me a nice loft, but look how it's actually putting that turn on it, that twist on it. That's kind of a pain. Alright. That's not what we want anyway. That's what a loft will do. Now that's what a loft can do with just 2 sketches. So I'm just going to go from here to there to there. Now don't put a twist on it. Ah, it does. Look at that. How it wants to twist it. I'm going to get out of this for a second, see what I can do. Did you see what I just did there? I think where I click, I'll do it again, loft. If I click over here, and then I click there, yeah, see it picks that point with whatever, and I can move that to kind of manually take the twist out of it, that control point, and I go to there. Okay, so really do your best to try and not have any major twists. This is what it ends up with. I don't know if you can see that. So what will I do? I'm going to go loft. I'm going to click on that. It wants to. Let's see what it does. Yeah, it puts a twist in it for some reason. There we go. And to there. This is why it's called free form shapes. They're free forming. Now, so we have a nice funnel there to when you're putting your oil into your car, you don't spill it everywhere. What's next? Is that what it looks like? Yeah, it's quite sharp. Okay, what can I do? I don't know if I want to get into this now. I can click that sketch and I can do, I don't know, normal to profile. I don't know if I want to get into this now. No, I don't. I'm just going to leave it the way it is. And the next thing I'm going to show is just the shell. So we know that the thickness is 1, and I'm going to pick one face there and the second face there. Okay, that's it. You have your funnel. Okay, that's it. I'll move on to the next one. Hey, I'm back. We're going to work on problem number 5 now. So we're going to draw this screwdriver. What features have we got? The first feature is a revolve, which is the handle of the screwdriver. The shaft of the screwdriver is just a simple extrude, and then the tip of it is going to be a loft. So we're going to go from one sketch to another sketch to another sketch. So we're going to use a loft for that. And then if we're in the mood, we're going to cut out some, I don't know what we're going to call it, grooves. And then we're going to use an angular array or a rotational array around the screwdriver. I don't know if I have a nice Stanley screwdriver that has got, it looks just like it. So the first feature is this revolve. So we can just start with that. Alright, let's have a look. It's in inches. So I'll create a sketch on the top plane, and let's do this. Where's the origin going to be? The origin, I'm just going to make this the origin right here, that point right here. So I need 6.5. Let's try that again. .5. I'm going to go away from the object and come back. I'm going to come down. I can't remember what this thing looks like. Away and come back. Something like that. I have no idea if it even looks like that, but let's have a look. Okay, it does actually. I'm surprised. Alright, not bad. Alright, 6.5. These two lines are going to be tangent. This point and this point are going to be collinear, I think. And what is it? It's a radius of 7.5. So let's get that going. Radius 0.75. Did I say 7.5 or 0.75? And then the length is 6.5. Okay, from one end to the other end, 6.5. Now this radius here is 1 inch. Okay, radius 1 inch. That seems very big, and I'm pretty sure this point isn't lined up here. Radius 1 inch. Okay, so what are we going to have to do with this? Let's pull this. Why doesn't it want to move? There we go. So this center of this arc comes out a little bit. Now I'm trying to move this out. Now why won't this come with me? Let me just get rid of that. Okay, that's what drives that point. Okay. Sorry, I'm trying to talk to you guys and think at the same time. So now it's fixed again. Okay, 1 inch is the radius. It's 1.5 from here and then 1.75. So let's see if we can do that. This is 0.75. Good, that's good, I like that. And then what is it from there to there? 1.5. Oh, that's it, and it goes all black. That's it, so we have our first sketch. Let's get rid of this little tail here and we'll revolve it. Okay. So our axis of revolution is going to be this line here, 360 degrees, and that's it. That seems like a big grip there, but anyway, it is what it is. We'll create a sketch on here and we'll just get our shaft going. Now what's the diameter going to be? It's going to be 1/2 inch. Decent sized screwdriver. 0.5, and we'll extrude it. What will we extrude it? We'll extrude it shaft length. Does it tell us what the hell the length is? 7 inches from end to end. And then what's this? 5 inches. So just the shaft length is 5 inches. Okay, first feature, revolve. Second feature, extrude. The third feature is going to be the loft. So let's get 1 inch away from there. There's going to be a profile, a sketch. So let's get a plane. I'll click this face and I'll go 1 inch. Right. I'll get another plane from there. I'm going to make it 2 inches. Now, just one reference is all you need, and there's going to be an offset of 2 inches. Not from this plane. Let's delete that reference. Click on this face, and it's going to be 2 inches from there. So it's 1 inch to there and 1 inch to there. So we have 2 reference planes. So let's have a look. We have 2 rectangles, 2 simple rectangles. So I'll create a sketch on this plane. I'll look at it normal to. I'm after hitting the space bar. I'm going to get a center rectangle, and look at that, there's one. Now what are the dimensions? It looks like it's 0.1 from the center to there. So this profile is a 0.1 offset of the tip. So we're missing some dimensions here. 0.5. God, I hate that. This is a 1/2 inch. So it's this one's going to buy. We're just going to have to make it up. We'll make this distance here unless I'm completely missing it. Okay, this profile is a 0.1 offset of the tip. So it's okay. So it's 0.1 in this direction and 0.1, so it's going to be 0.7. So this is going to be 0.7. Now what's the height going to be? The height's going to be 0.3. So if it's an offset of the tip, it's 0.1 in this direction and 0.1 in this direction, added to that original one, so we get this height from there to there is only 0.3 of an inch. That's a pretty shitty way to dimensional drawing, but anyway. So we have that. We have one profile sketch. This is our second and our third profile sketch. So let's create a sketch on this plane. And I'll go normal 2 again. And we'll draw a little rectangle. A center rectangle. And I'll go 0.1. And then what's this? I'm thinking it's 0.3, I can't remember. 0.5 right here. Now let's see how this works out. I'm not so sure. Okay, let's turn off these planes, just let's hide them. And let's see what happens. We're going to go Features, Loft. I'm going to click this sketch, then that, and then that. Now look how these control points are kind of all in the same place. And I can move it if I want to. Very rare, I've never moved them, okay? You can add twist to things. You don't want to do that. Okay. Now there it is. Let me just show you one thing, see if I can do this. A screwdriver. Now what's happening here? Let's see if I can get it from the side. No, we don't want that. Okay. This wouldn't be a very good screwdriver. We want we want it coming 90 degrees and then bending up. So how do we do this? Okay, now we would teach this in an advanced class, but if I open up Start End Constraints, I can click on that sketch and I can go End Constraint. I can go Normal to Profile, and look what it does. Now I'm not going to lie, I'm kind of happy that worked out. I thought it would backfire on me. Now why did I pick Start Constraint? I'm guessing is this sketch here, because that's where it started. This is the end, and I can pick different ones. I can just go default like it is, and then I can go a direction vector. Now I'd have to give that, and I'm not going to go there. Normal to Profile is just going to come out of that at 90 degrees. Okay, so that kind of looks good. So let's go okay with that. Yeah, okay, so funky looking screwdriver, but look, there's the loft at the end. Now let's see if we can get some sort of a groove going. Now what's the best way of doing that? I'm trying to think. What's the best way? If I click on the right plane and I create a sketch on that. Okay. And I'm going to look at this from the side. I'm going to click on this edge and I'm going to go Convert Entities. And let's put a circle in here. We'll make them both the same. Now this isn't in the drawing that I've given you. We're just making it up. And just to show you some stuff, I'm going to make this 0.325. And let's put a dimension between each one. We'll make it 2.5. And then from this line to the circle, we'll make it 1/2 inch. And what do we do? Then we're going to go from here to there. And I'm going to just trim some of this stuff away. I'm going to trim that bit of it away, that bit of it away. There and there, there. And there. What am I going to do? Hopefully you can see what I'm trying to do here. I'm going to do a revolve, and let's see what this looks like. A revolve cut. So I've got sketch there, kind of in the right place. I'm going to go revolve cut. And now I have a kind of a nice groove in the screwdriver to grip onto. Now if I want to array that around, hopefully you know this, I'm going to go to circular pattern. And my axis of revolution is going to be this, that any of these cylindrical axes will do. But let's not go crazy, let's go equal spacing. And let's put maybe 10 in. Now we could make that groove a little bit longer, but that's pretty good now. It's also nice to have a ball at the end of a screwdriver. It can help with if you want to apply extra torque and things. So let's say we want to render this in some way. Let me save it first. So I'm going to save this as a freeform screwdriver, and I'm going to open up my appearances. And let's say we were doing a design for, I don't know, an industrial designer, and he wanted us to render this thing. What would we do? So let's have a look. Metal, and I'm going to go steel, and I'm going to go polished steel, and let's get just not the whole screwdriver, just the extrusion. I'm going to do the same with this, just with that extrusion. Okay. Now what about this? We're going to make this plastic, a black plastic. So let's minimize the metal. Let's get the painted going. Rubber maybe, metal, plastic. There you go. Hot medium gloss. White medium gloss plastic. Let's drag this down. Black medium gloss plastic. And we'll do the whole revolve. Alright. Now if you've ever seen a nice good Stanley screwdriver, the grooves are always yellow. So watch this. Can I do this? Oh, I love it. Watch this again. And see how I can just drag it into here as well. And that's it. A nice rendered screwdriver. Okay, I'm going to go to ambient occlusion. I have no idea what the hell this is, what it does. So we go add-ins. Photo View 360 if you're lucky enough to have it on your machines. Render tools. Preview window. Don't do this integrated preview. If you have a slow computer, it's going to slow it down. Make sure you save your work before you start rendering, because it does have the potential to crash your machine. Check that out. Beautiful. Okay. Options. 1000 by 1000 pixels. JPEG is good. Leave these preview render quality. If you have a fantastic machine, it's really expensive, you can boot it up to maximum. I don't. So let's have a look here. We'll go final render. So I don't think you're going to want to listen to me talk over this thing, but let's see how long it takes. It should take maybe, it's going to take about 1 minute. So look, it's doing its thing. This background is easy. It takes about 1 second, and then it takes a little bit more time here. Anyhow, I think you know what you're doing. Look, it's with Photo View 360, it's very, very easy to get high quality renderings. You know, I've actually done it a few times for different companies, you know, and they want to see what a design is going to look like at the end. You can forecast and say, look, it's going to look something like this. This is how it's going to look like. So anyway, something to practice. Okay, there's a nice job on the screwdriver. Okay, I'm going to move on to the next. What is the next one? We have the screwdriver done, and we have a nice chair. Okay, so we'll work on that chair now in a minute or two. Okay, let's have a look at problem number, what is it? Well, it's a chair problem anyway, so I think it's problem number 6. I think there's a lot of different ways you could do this. I gave this as I think it was a final exam in another class. But the thing, you see this L shape, just the chair section. So essentially you have like this chair section, and then you've got 2 arms. And the 2 arms they're the same, they're symmetrical. So the chair is a simple L shape, and then it has what I would consider like a taper or a draft at the front of it, and a taper and a draft at the top. What you could do is what we'll do is this. We'll do the L shape first. We'll do 1 taper using a loft, and the second taper I will try doing a draft extrude to show 2 different ways, and hopefully one of them will work. Now once that's done, what we'll do is we will do the arms. Now, I think the easiest way of doing the arms is probably just a simple sweep. So that's my plan. So let's start with the L shape, and I'm hoping I have all the dimensions. I think I do. Anyway, let's look at these things. 68. We'll make it out of inches. So new part, and my origin is going to be just this point right here. So what is it? It looks like it's 30 by. Okay, let's see now. At this point here, I got 43 to there, 25, 48. I know that this is 8 from the. Okay, let's see here. So I need to know what this dimension is here. 30. Is this an L shape? Is it a perfect? Give me 1 second. Alright. So I'm just going to draw this out. Look, I think there's a dimension missing, or my head's pretty melted. Okay. So there's my L shape. Okay, now what's the height of this chair? 8 inches. 8, and then do we have it 8 and 8? Okay. 8. Now I'm right clicking on my mouse and I'm just moving up to get a quick dimension. And 8. There, okay. Alright, now what's the height of this from there to there? The height is 38. No, it's 30 from to the bottom of the taper. Now this looks longer, so I'm going to have to see if I can figure this out. It's less than, you can see from the end, for very edge, it's 40. So I'm guessing that's about 3 inches or maybe 2 inches. So we're just going to make that 38. We're going to make from that, let me zoom in here a little bit for you. From that face there to the start of the taper, we're going to make it 38. And if I can figure out later, I'll change the dimension. And I'm going to do a mid-plane extrude. So let's exit the sketch. We'll do a mid-plane extrude. And what is it? It's a mid-plane extrude of 40. Okay, there's the first feature. Now we'll do it a nice tapered edge here at the front. Now it comes out a total of a total of 8 at the front. So I'll go plane, I'll click on the face and we'll do an offset plane of 8 inches. Okay, and I'll create a sketch on that plane, and I'll look at this normal too, and I'll draw a rectangle. And let's have a look. I'm pretty sure this dimension is 5, but let's check it. 5, and we have 37. 37 and 5. Okay, I'm going to draw a center line going. Let's get the mid plane from there to there, midpoint, and now I can make that construction line up with that, and I'll make that coincident. And then what else can I do if I want to have this? What's the quickest way? I know that that's 8. I can go from that center to that center and then just make that horizontal, and it'll bring it down. A couple of different ways of doing that. So it just keeps that rectangle centered on that rectangle. Okay, let's get out of here and then let's get our loft. So I'll go loft and I'll click on one face, right, and then I'll click on the sketch. Look at that, easy. And I'll go okay, and that's it. Let's turn off that plane. Okay, And let's see if we can do this. See, in order to do an extrude, a draft extrude, I need to know what the angle is. So I would need to know what that angle is. So if it's 30, if it's 8 going down to 5, and it's got a height of 8, yeah, you can, if you know what this angle is, it looks like about 5 degrees, you could do a 5-degree loft. I'll show you what I mean. I should be able to figure that out easy enough. Anyway, I'll create a sketch on that face, and I'll click on the face and I'll go convert entities, just extract the geometry, and I go extrude, and we want an extrude of 8, but we don't know, and then I'm going to click here for a draft, but we don't know what that angle is. Is it 5 degrees on either side? Sure, this is easy. Watch this. I go evaluate, measure, and I'll go from U to U, and I'll go, right, what's the angle? Angle 169.38. So it's 180 minus that, 169.38. So watch this. I'm after copying and pasting that, and I'll go, hold on, 180 minus 169.38, so it's roughly 10 degrees. And now I have the same type of draft or same type of taper on it. The easiest way would have just been to do 2 lofts. So that's one way. I'm after using a draft there, a draft extrude. Now let me see if can I lift this up, and let's try something else. Can I copy and paste this loft? If I go control, okay, I'll right click here, no, I'll click that and I'll go control C. It doesn't seem to let me do that. If I click on that face and go control V, no. I wish I could copy that feature. No, it doesn't like it. Anyway, either way will work. You could create a second loft up there. I'm actually surprised I could get that draft extrude to work. Now, what's next? The next thing is this sweep. So we're going to need are we going to use a 3D sketch? I don't think we're going to use a 3D sketch. We're going to come out. From the center is 20, and then we know the thickness of this is diameter 4. So if I want to get to the very center of that, so from the very center plane out to there, it's going to be 22. 40 divided by 2 plus diameter 4, so it's a radius of 2. So watch this, 22 is the number. So from the front plane, I'll create an offset plane of 22. And on that plane, I'm going to create a sketch. Don't be like that. Here we go. Alright, what does it look like? It just comes up a curve, a straight line, 3 straight lines in a curve. So I'll just start somewhere around here. I'll come up, don't lock into anything in the chair, walk away, come back, check that out. Okay, is it something like that? Yeah, okay, so I'm putting this in the wrong place. This line is in the wrong place. It's somewhere in here. Now, so let's put in some relations. This point and that point are going to be horizontal. These two are going to be tangent. Let's have a look at some dimensions. It's going to be a radius of 15. Okay, some dimensions. 55 from the very bottom to the center. Lovely. Alright, 55, we got 35 here, and then 43 to the very, very front. That's the dimension that I need. 43, and then I can work my way back. Yeah, that's the dimension I needed. 43, yeah. Okay, 35 and then 43. So from there to there is what? 35, and from here, that's tricky, there to there is 43, and that gives us, it gives us that. We need some height relation. 40, so what do we have? 68 minus 38 will leave us 30. From there to there is going to be 30. So from there to there is going to be 30. And then how far does this stick out? 43, and then it says 48 from here to here. Now let's see, okay, 48. So from there to there we make that 48. That's it. Okay. Okay, let's, I probably should put that up for a second or two so you can see it. So I didn't use a 3D sketch, I'm just using a normal 2D sketch. Now watch this. No, don't turn it off, we need that. Let's turn off that plane. Look where it lies. Now we need, you know, I need to put a sketch. This is my path. I need a profile. So I need to put that profile perpendicular to any of those lines. It doesn't matter which one. It really doesn't matter. So watch this. I'll just go plane. I'll click on the line, and then I'll click on the point, and look where this sketch is. It's perfectly perpendicular with the line at the end point, and I'll go OK. And then I'll create a sketch on that plane, and I'll draw a circle. And what's the thickness of that tube? It's 4 inches. That's a pretty massive chair, pretty hardcore. And I just lock it in. It needs to touch the end of that line. And I'll go OK. Now remember, this is the profile and that's the path. So let's turn the planes off and go to features, sweep, profile. Is it going to be this chap? The path is going to be, now good, what is it? This pops up when SolidWorks gets a little bit confused. Basically, if I go OK, it's going to drive that sweep up to here. Now this white button is asking me, it's saying, look, what does it say? Tangent. If I click on this tangent, it should follow the whole way around. Is it going to do that? Yes. Good man. Okay, it gets that. I can also do something like select open loop. I can go this and this. Now I don't know if it's going to like this actually. I'm going to just, okay, what happens if I want to select multiple ones? I can select that. Yeah, it's not, yeah, now let's see, does it give me this? Okay, it doesn't like that because this is a break. So let's turn that one off and let's go OK. And we got that. Now look at this. I'm going to go back to this sketch. This profile sketch. No, I don't think it's going to like that. What happens if I put a second one on there? It's going to get confused, I think. Yeah, it didn't like that. It's looking for just one profile and now has two. So if I go edit feature and I go, we don't want to do that sketch. We just want to do this circle there. No. Now what happens if I right click and I go selection manager and I just go select close loop? It just does that one. And then I can go OK. And then watch this, I'll share this sketch and I'll do another sweep. And I'm going to right click. If I select that, it does both of them because they're part of the sketch. If I right click and I go selection manager and I go I'm going to select a region, kind of an open loop. I just want this one. And I'm going to go OK. Now it's just after picking this one loop. Now, if I go right click now and I go selection manager and I go select open loop, I can just do that one. And now I'll have that. And I'll turn off that sketch. That's pretty, you know, it's good stuff to know. Now what will I do? I'm going to mirror this across the front plane. And what are we going to do? What features? I'm going to mirror this and I'm going to mirror that. and it won't let me do it because now why won't it? If I click on geometry, pattern, feature, scope, another thing I can do are these are separate bodies. Now this is a body and that's a body, and the reason why they're separate is I don't think I merged them, or I don't even know if I can. So what I'll do is, instead of mirroring a feature, I'm just going to mirror a body, and I'll click on this, and then I'll go mirror face, and I'll go front plane, and I'll go OK, and it does it. So if you have trouble mirroring features, what you should do is try and mirror bodies. Okay, now let's have a look. I'm going to have some nice steel legs, polished aluminium, let me try that again. Alright, now what do we do? See if we can find a nice fabric. So, organic fabric, cloth, white cotton, beige, burgundy. Now, okay, no, don't do that. Render tools, preview window. It's not too bad. Alright, something to play around. You know, it's a pretty poxy looking chair, but we've only spent about 15 minutes drawing it up, and look what we have, you know. So okay, I'll stop here. I'm going to move on to problem number, this last one. What is this? Exercise 6. So we'll give this exercise 6 a go. This is pretty tough stuff, so let me take a break and then we'll move on to this one. Hey, I'm back. I was talking myself out of doing this one. It's you know, it's not too bad, but I was thinking, you know, I was going to just leave it to you and see if you could figure it out, but look, I may as well do it. This, what you're looking at, this is some sort of a sheet metal cover for a blower, a motor blower of some sort. So in this, there's 3 sections. The first section is a semicircle with these flanges on it, these flat flanges, where there's 8 holes that bolt it to something. And inside of this pocket here, inside this volume, there's an impeller that rotates like crazy, round and round and round. It's driven by a motor, generates air flow, and it just flows out here like that. So it goes round, 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 comes round here, and it just zooms out like that. So it's the cover of a fan blower. First section is a semicircle, and then you have this, I don't know, I should know what this is called here. This is some sort of a vein or an outlet of some sort, and you can see there's a transition, and the what is it called? The sectional area increases. Okay, so you have this section here. That's going to be a loft, and then you have the section that connects the outlet to the main section, which is all the sheet metal. So you have the semicircle 1, the outlet 2, and then this middle section that connects it. And then we're going to have to somehow shell it, and then we're going to have to add the 8 holes. The first thing we should draw is I'm thinking this semicircle business. So let's get that semicircle. This point is going to be our origin. These are all, this is, I took this from a book. It's going to be in millimeters. Okay, so I'll go new part, front plane. Let's change this to be millimeters before we do anything. So what's the big one? The big one is radius of 60, and let's get that, just radius of 60. Ooh, diameter 120. I'm going to draw a straight line. Let's make this from there to there. We'll make it midpoint. Let's make it horizontal. And let's put a radius of 60 on it. And then we've another circle. And let's make this 48.75. 48.75. Okay, so I have the big one, I have the small one. Alright, now this line, okay, so let's come up here 4 inches and let's offset that 4. Let's flip it like so, and then let's get some lines here, some vertical lines. Kind of glad I'm doing this now. It's not too bad. And let's just trim that. Oh, don't do that. Hold on. That's good. Okay. And let's just trim this bit as well. I'm sorry if I'm moving kind of fast. I want to watch the Game of Thrones tonight, and it's going to come on pretty soon. So, 75 to there, and what else? Just 75 to there. This is symmetrical, so 150 from end to end. Now, you're probably asking yourself, how do you get that? I'm guessing, but it should be on there. But it's 75 from there to there. I'll assume that it's symmetrical, so it's 150. So from there to there, we'll make that 150. Very, very nice. Let's do some trimming here. And all of that goes. And all of that goes, and all of that goes. So let's make this and that collinear. Make that line and that coincident. I need to put a center line in here, and I'll make that to there, symmetrical, and then from here to there we'll make that 4 millimeters, and it's all black. Let's go back and have a look. I'm kind of blagging my way through this. I don't know. I'm kind of guessing what to do next. I have that sketch here. I'm going to draw this line in from here to here. I'm going to just extrude that whole thing out for a sec. We'll do a mid-plane extrude. There and there. Of what is it? It's a mid-plane extrude of 80. And I'll go mid-plane. Okay, we have that much. Do that first. Okay. Now we have that for. Let's get this other section in. This middle section. So I'm going to draw a sketch on this front plane. Let's look at normal 2. Look, and it looks something like, oh, I don't know what the hell it looks like. Walk away and come back to it. Look, something like that. Now let's put some dimensions on it. Radius of 100. Oh, lovely. Okay, radius of 100. I'm going to click on this circle. I'm going to go convert to entities. And look at this. This distance from here to here. We're going to draw everything until we get to this cutting plane line. We're going to forget that this even exists. We're just getting this midsection done now. It's 42 in height. And then from this center out to here is 81.5. So I'm going to go from this point to there. I'm going to go 81.5. Okay. And then we have that. I would love a dimension from here to there, and they're not going to give it to me. So we have to figure it out. 100. Okay, radius of 5. So this, we know that this is horizontal, and we're going to have a radius of 5. So from there to there. I'm going to click on this and go convert entities again, and then trim this bit of it away. Put in a tangent relation there. Okay, and we need some sort of height. What happens if I have a tangent from there to there as well? That sets that. What a pain. Radius of 5. And this doesn't help us. What is it? This sucks. I'm thinking here now. What happens if, okay, no. We have the radius of 5 here. Basically, all I need is one dimension. And if I make that 100, everything is good, but that's not it. Unless I'm blind, or I chopped it off or something. I'm going to make this 100, and it's going to save us a lot of time. But then it comes down here. What's going on with this? Radius of 100. Or let's do this. Let's assume that this point comes all the way down to there. And let's delete that. And if I move down, I lock that point in at here, and I assume that everything goes black. Yeah, so that's what they're saying. This point is tangent, but it locks into it's also coincident with the end of that line. Okay. Sorry about that delay. Okay, now let's have a look and see what that extrusion is. It's an extrusion of 57.5. All of this extrusion is 57.5. So mid plane 57.5, and I'll do a mid plane. Did you just see that? How I had to look around there and really pull at that drawing. Sometimes it takes time. You could spend a half an hour trying to figure it out, but I have a feeling a lot of you sort of assume that there's dimensions missing. You know, I've given you hundreds of drawings throughout the semester, so sometimes there are dimensions missing, but you have to use I suppose you have to use your common sense, but sometimes you do have to look at a drawing for a long time to try and figure it out. So now we have that. Okay. The next stage is we need to create a plane. Now how far is it away from this? It's going to be 57.5 away from that face. And I'll go OK. And I'll create a sketch on that plane. I'll go normal 2. And I'll click on this face, that line and I'll make it collinear. And the distance is 72.5 and 52.5. And 52.5. Now I need, how do I center this up? I can use a center line, so from there to there, and then I can go you, and you. I'm going to make them symmetric, and then that centers that right up there. So exit out of this, and we'll go loft from here. Now here we use our control points. I'll do that again. We'll turn off the plane, and I'll go loft. I'll go this face to there, and we don't have to worry about the control points. And I'll go OK. Right, we're nearly getting there. You're saying to yourself, well, the front of this is all curved, so we need to add some fillets. So what is the radius? A radius of 15. Okay. Now watch this. I'll get a fillet. I'll make this 15. I'll go 1, not the face, just the line. There's 1, 2, and it'll follow down. And there, and there. Okay? Look at that. Alright, the next thing. And that's what those curves are from. A lot of people, when they look at this, they say, what the hell is going on there? And when you put those fillets in, that's what it looks like. That's kind of, it will be trial and error. Okay, I want to try something. Now we have to shell it somehow. Let's go back to this sketch here. Okay, the easy things, let's put the holes in. I can do that. I'll create a sketch here. Give me one, yeah, let's just do the holes. Let's do the 4 holes. Easy. Click on the face, click on hole wizard. We want through holes, and what size are they? They're diameter 4 typical. So we're going to go metric, and what size do we want? We want 4, diameter 4. I'll go positions. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. Vertical, vertical, and I'll make these horizontal. And let's do this. We have 8, and then 8 on the other side, and then 10 and 20. Okay. So from here to there is 8. From there to there is 8. From here to there is 10. From here to here is 10. And from there to there 20. And from there to there is 20. Let's just tidy up these dimensions. Now, I went a bit fast on you there. Now, this isn't a dowel hole, it's just we just want a bloody hole, drill size. We just want a normal hole there. The end condition is going to be just through all, and now we've got 4 holes. The next thing we want to do is create a sketch on here, and we have a circle. Now what that circle is for is the shaft, I'm guessing, that runs the impeller, and its radius of 15. So it's a diameter of 30, and I'll just go extrude cut through all. Alright, now the next thing is this. Okay, I'm going to create a sketch on the front plane, and this is the part I'm kind of blagging my way through, but I'll get. Now I know that all of this has a wall thickness of 2.5. So I'm going to do that. I'm going to put a dimension between here and there of 2.5. And watch this. I'm going to extrude cut in one direction. I'm going to do, let's see if we can do this, up, offset from surface. Very nice. I'm going to click on this surface. I'm going to offset 2.5. Look at that, lovely. Okay, and in the other direction, I'm just going to go through all. Now, kind of, I think that's what we want there, but we don't. There's a cover, isn't there? Yeah. So let's do this. We're going to go do the same. We're going to go offset from surface. This surface. And I'm going to offset 2.5. And what I've just done there, I've never done that before. Now, imagine an impeller inside there. Is that what's going on? Because what does this line here represent? So anyway, let me show you the next bit, the fun bit. Okay, we have all of that. Now I'm going to do a shell, and I'm going to make it 2.5 thickness, and I click this face and I click that face, and look at this, look at that, isn't that cool? So it just creates basically a path for the air to flow through. And let's get a section of this. Beautiful. So that's basically it. I wouldn't have a clue how that's made, but you know, it's a tricky enough part. You know, think about how that was built and practice it and kind of chew it around your head a little bit and see how you get on with it. But you know, tricky enough. You know, if you can look at this and model this and really understand what's going on, you know, you should be pretty proud of yourself. So anyway, that's it with freeform parts. No new lectures. That's it. You're moving on to your final project and your SolidWorks Associate Certification exam. So please God, no more videos from me. Thanks. Bye.